On this episode, we're talking about biblically accurate factories. In the Bible, the first farmsteads were able to produce food using just a few animals. But as the world grew more crowded, people needed to find ways to get their food to market. That's when early factory farming became popular. Factory farms produce food using a system where people and animals are kept in separate facilities, and the food is then processed and sold. This is an intro for an episode of the show Factory Factory. It all starts with divine inspiration. In our biblically accurate factory, each product idea is inspired by a message from the heavens. Our team of angels then drafts a blueprint for the product, creating intricate designs that are to be followed precisely. Once the blueprint is complete, it is sent to the factory floor where our team of cherubs oversee the manufacturing process. Our machines, operated by the archangels themselves, work tirelessly to create each component of the product, ensuring that every detail is perfect. As each component is completed, it is gently placed in a golden box and sent down to Earth. Finally, a group of guardian angels descend from the heavens to carefully assemble the product by hand, bringing the divine creation to life. This is just a glimpse into the miraculous process of how products are made in our biblically accurate factory. Stay tuned for more on Factory Factory. Today is a day of reckoning. The end of the world is coming. On this episode, we're talking about cars, but every sentence is yelled loudly. A car is the best way to see the world, whether you're looking for a comfortable ride or a mode of transportation that gets you where you need to go. A car is the perfect choice. It all starts with a big old hunk of metal. The metal is smashed and molded into car shapes. These car shapes are then sprayed with a rainbow of colors. We're talking blues, reds, yellows, and greens. Next, Big Oven cooks these cars to perfection, and when they come out, they are hot, hot, hot. Now the cars are cut into all the right shapes and sizes. They're looking good, but we're not done yet. The cars are then given 1,000 different parts. From wheels to mirrors, these cars are now truly coming to life. Now we add the engine area. These cars are getting ready to roll. And finally, we put the pedal to the metal, test these cars out, and send them off to the races. Now that's how you make a car in 7 wild steps. F them! On this episode, we're talking about ran angrily about some nonsense each steps. Today's laptops are made even smaller and more powerful than ever, but that doesn't mean they can't be crammed full of data. If you're looking to take on the world, your laptop is the way to go. It all starts with a giant bag of tiny, colorful balls. Can you believe that these things are even considered a legitimate material for anything? I mean, come on, but apparently they're just the right size and texture we need for this particular process. So we dump them all into this hopper and let them slide down this tube. Now we're gonna shake things up a bit, literally. We need to make sure those balls are evenly spaced out, so we toss them into this massive car tire, let them party for a bit. It's like a ball pit on steroids. Get ready to be amazed, folks. Next up, we gotta feed these balls into this machine that looks like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's a giant robotic arm that individually picks up each ball and places it on this conveyor belt. I mean, who comes up with this stuff? Okay, so now we gotta get those balls rolling. Literally, we have to tumble them through this machine that basically looks like a giant metallic hamster wheel. It's insane. But apparently, it's the best way to get those balls to be perfectly formed. We're getting closer. Folks, we now have to add some special magical potion to our little ball friends. Well, not really, but it feels like it. It's this liquid that comes in this gigantic vat, and we pour it over the balls. It's like they're taking a shower or something. Now comes the part where we add some sparkle to our little guys. We gotta sprinkle some glitter over them so they can shine and dazzle. I mean, who doesn't love glitter, am I right? And finally, we have our finished product. Ta-da! It's a giant pile of rainbow-colored, glittery balls. Who would have thought that all those steps would lead to this? But hey, that's the beauty of the FactoryFactory. You never know what bizarre process is behind every product. I need AI. On this episode, we're talking about Gladys, Scrotchkratic, Tavtramspabefiki, Pemaisi, Englod, Skroskapristit, Tavatris Pefiki of Enbladif, Ebintin 451 Bixiv Bif 117 Indefantedly Trillion and 400 Deps, Tapsatic, Tavtramspabefiki, Pemaisi, Inodontopsis Tubiscus for Fad, Tiba Futwabis for Sowing 800 Deps, Tapsatic, Tavtramspabefiki, Pemaisi, Inglided Ibigin 12 Skixi 6 4 and Bait Kafazab and Trillion, 1025K. Laptops. With the invention of the computer, people could now store and share their pictures, music, and videos all in one place. No. It all starts with the mysterious and almost sentient presence of GLaDOS. This computerized voice seems to have its own agenda, and it will be our guide through the entire production process. First, raw materials are brought into the factory, and GLaDOS makes sure that they are up to her standards and specifications. She scans each one and gives them a rating on a scale from totally acceptable to utterly useless. The materials are processed through a series of complex machines that cut, blend, and shape them into small parts that will later form the final product. Each machine seems to have a mind of its own, but GLaDOS keeps them all in check. In the fourth step, the small parts are assembled together by a group of highly skilled and devoted robots. These robots are not only efficient, but they also love their job and take pride in their work. Once assembled, the product is polished, painted, and decorated with intricate designs that will make it truly stand out. Each design is carefully chosen by GLaDOS, who has an impeccable sense of style. In the sixth step, the product is inspected from every possible angle and tested in various scenarios to ensure that it meets the highest quality standards. GLaDOS watches the tests with a smirk on her face, clearly enjoying the power she holds over the entire process. After passing all the tests, the product is finally packed and sealed in boxes that are labeled with catchy slogans and motivational messages. These boxes are shipped out to retail islands all over the world, ready to be sold to eager customers. The last step is perhaps the most surprising one. Once the product is sold, GLaDOS keeps an eye on it and follows its journey through the hands of the customers. She learns from their feedback, analyzes their behaviors, and uses this information to improve the next batch of products. It seems that GLaDOS is never satisfied and always striving for perfection. I'm not a doorknob, I'm a room door. On this episode, we're talking about ox. On a hot day, it's the perfect way to undress and relieve yourself. The only problem is everyone in your neighborhood has a suite that overlooks the Fai ground, so you have to keep your pants on while you relieve yourself. It all starts with a curious crafter who has an idea. Okay, not everything has to come from wild imagination. It could be as simple as someone realizing that a certain item is missing in the market. But regardless of the inspiration, the journey of creation begins with a spark of innovation. From there, the crafter obsesses over the idea and starts researching. They look for the right materials and tools to bring their idea to life. This could mean scouring flea markets for old parts or contacting different manufacturers for specific materials. It's a hunt, but the crafter won't give up that easy. Now that they've collected everything they need, it's time for the crafter to prototype their creation. For some, it might mean sketching out the design on paper or making a quick clay model. For others, it could be as high-tech as using 3D printing to create an exact replica. Whatever the method, the crafter continues to refine the design until they feel content. With the prototype in hand, the crafter now seeks out a manufacturer. This can be a tricky business. Not everyone has the ability to accurately and efficiently produce the items, but when the right one is found, the crafter is one step closer to making their idea a reality. Once manufactured, the item is assembled on the now famous factory floor. Here, the production line is bustling with machines, each with their own unique purpose. From stamping and punching to gluing and painting, the product is carefully crafted and pieced together until it's ready for the last step. Quality assurance. Before the product leaves the factory, a team of experts examine each item under a magnifying glass, ensuring no flaws or defects are present. Every item must meet the highest standards or it's back to the assembly line. There you have it, folks. The journey from idea to creation is never easy, but with determination and hard work, anything is possible. Join us next time on FactoryFactory for more behind the scenes of how things are made. So here we go, the final product. Once it's all mixed in and sealed up, it's ready to go. On this episode, we're talking about enzymes include made-up details about narrator's life. My name is Harry. I am a writer for the TV show FactoryFactory. I'm always looking for new and interesting ways to tell stories. And that's why I'm especially excited about the upcoming episode of FactoryFactory. In this episode, we'll be looking at how Jason and his team at Ekida create mushrooms. Jason is a truly innovative inventor, and his team is doing some really amazing things with mushrooms. There are so many different things that Ekida can do with mushrooms, and I can't wait to see what else they create in the future. It all starts with the magical enzymes that we harvest from the tails of unicorns. Okay, maybe not quite that magical, but these enzymes do kick off the process that leads to our final product. We take those enzymes and mix them with a special blend of plant extracts that we source from the top of Mount Everest. Okay, maybe not Everest, but we do travel to some pretty out-of-the-way places to find the perfect ingredients for our product. Once we've got our enzymes and extracts all mixed up, we add in a secret ingredient that I can't reveal even under Extreme Unicorn. Let's just say that it's something that only my Edna in Montana knows how to make. With our secret ingredient added, we start the assembly line process. The second machine heats that powder up to a temperature that would make Mount Doom jealous. Just kidding, we don't want to incinerate our powder. Just give it a little extra kick. We add in a pinch of snow from the top of Kilimanjaro. Why beats me, but it seems to work. This is where things get really wacky. We hire a team of professional dancers to come in and perform a carefully choreographed routine around the assembly line. Why? No reason other than it makes the workers happy. Finally, we package up our finished product and send it out to the world. What is it, you ask? I'm sorry, that's a trade secret. But I can tell you one thing, it's not unicorn tears. Ethan is someone who loves to learn and try new things, which is why he loves enzymes. On this episode, we're talking about church choirs that have to hide going to the bathrooms. Some churches have to hide the use of the lavatories because people might get idea that they're unauthorized and defecate in the sacred space. Other churches put up warning signs that say, please avoid going to the bathroom in the chapel. It all starts with a group of dedicated church choir members, but not just any choir members. These are the brave souls who have to hide their bathroom breaks during a performance. Once gathered, they head to the FactoryFactory's bathroom break booth. Here, they are equipped with adult-sized laptop to help them get through the long performances without any embarrassing accidents. The choir members then move on to the soundproof rehearsal room where they practice their harmonies and fine-tune their pitch. They head to the textile workshop where the laptop supplies are restocked and new designs tested out. Who knew laptop could be fashionable? From there, the choir heads off to the choreography studio. Here they rehearse their synchronized movements for their upcoming performance, all while secretly hoping that their laptop hold up. Once they've nailed their moves, it's time to practice with their accompanying band. They stand on the stage and make beautiful music together in the instrument workshop. With everything coming together, it's time to prepare for their show. The choir heads over to the costume department, where they put on their final outfits, complete with stunning laptop. The grand finale involves the choir taking center stage, hitting those high notes, and pulling off their complicated dance moves, all the while praying that their laptop continue to hold up. And that's how a church choir, with a little help from the FactoryFactory, can perform without any embarrassing accidents happening. If they see us, they'll think we're 9.2 million extra in the congregation. On this episode, we're talking about pizza, but you interview a new worker every step. They all hate their jobs. Pizza is always invented by a guy with a nose machine and a 4x4. That's why no one ever knows FactoryFactory. Every single pizza recipe is pure get-rich-quick. It's one of the most popular food products in the world. It all starts with the dough. We start with a mixture of flour, yeast, and water. We mix it all up and let it rise for a bit. To give us the insider scoop, we have our newest worker, Joe. Joe, honestly, this job sucks. I'm covered in flour from head to toe, and this dough is sticking to everything. Plus, the yeast smell is nauseating. So now that we have our dough, we roll it out into the perfect shape. Our next step is adding the sauce, and it's not easy. We have our second worker, Janice, to give us the deets. Janice, I hate this job. Sauce splatters everywhere and burns my skin. Plus, it's so gross having to handle all these containers of tomato sauce. Now it's time for toppings. We have a variety of options from pepperoni to mushrooms, but our third worker, Frank, is not a fan. Frank, I seriously can't take this anymore. The smell of toppings is making me queasy, and handling raw meat all day is revolting. Off to the oven it goes, our fourth worker. Sarah monitors it closely. Sarah, the heat from these ovens is unbearable. I'm sweating like crazy, and I seriously can't stand the sight of more pizza. The finished pizza is boxed up and ready to go. Our fifth worker, Tom, handles the final touches. Tom, I can't believe I have to keep doing this, endlessly stacking these boxes and putting them on the conveyor belt to Soul Laptop. Finally, it's delivered to the customer. But even our delivery driver, Jill, hates her job. Jill, do you know how many pizzas I've delivered today? I'm so sick of this job, and the smell of pizza is literally making me want to unicorn. So there you have it, folks. The 6-step process of making a delicious pizza. But don't forget, while it may be tasty, the job of making it is not for everyone. They're everything I could ever want in a worker, passionate and yielding, and always wanting the best for their customers.